So, you might be wondering today why I'm talking about this, and also, why do I have a shitty beanie on? Well, it's because I just found it, and I keep losing it, because I never wear it. I never wear it ever. But I don't really like hats, so. So, I was thinking, like, it's 1 a.m., and I was just remembering when I was a kid, like when I was an actual kid, I was able to stay up with my brother until, like, the sun came up, and we would play games, we'd play Animal Jam, and I'm watching old H3 videos, and I was like, I remember I used to watch these during the summertime, when it was, like, really early in the morning, and I'd be fucking so tired, because I stayed up all night, and I don't know why, but it brought up memories of, because I was tired, it made me realize, oh, I used to be really tired at school because I was always vaping. And I was like, I should make a video about that. I've been so, like, hyperactive lately. I think it's because, like, I'm just feeling good. I just feel like doing it. So, this is my journey about vaping. Vaping at school, particularly. Other than vaping at school, I had an addiction to vaping introduced to me by my parents because they were really desperate for me to not end my life, and they didn't know what to do, so they got me addicted to THC, which, it didn't actually help because I still went into a mental hospital. I was just addicted to THC instead, with it. So, not a good idea. Doesn't work, and, no, I think they thought because they got through their issues by vaping, not vaping, but smoking weed, that it would work for me. But it doesn't work that way. When you're in severe agony and pain, psychologically, getting addicted to a substance is not going to just make you happy and make you forget. So, they have a flawed logic, and they both deny being addicted to it, which obviously is a symptom of being addicted to something. So, if you take anything from this video, don't start vaping because you're sad. A lot of kids do this. I know they do because a lot of my friends who vape, doesn't have to be THC, it could be nicotine or whatever the hell other kids vape, I don't know. Vegetable oil, nutmeg, I don't know. Black tea extract, I don't know. It's just not a good idea, And, vaping is just bad for your lungs. Smoking weed, it's probably not as bad, but it can still put tar in your lungs. People don't believe me when I say that. And people think that smoking and vaping weed, people know vaping is bad, but smoking weed people make an exemption for because it's not nicotine. I just had this conversation with my boyfriend today because I was talking about smoking weed, and he said, it's not bad for you, it's not bad for your lungs. If you think anything other than oxygen is not bad for your lungs, you're just plain wrong, okay? Anything else, and oxygen meaning the atmosphere, I know you're gonna say, oh my god, but most of it is nitrogen. I'm aware, I'm talking about, people normally say oxygen is air, air is oxygen. Because oxygen is the life force, not really nitrogen. So, I got distracted by something outside. Anyway, your lungs are not made for anything else. And I know this because my boyfriend's dad smokes cigarettes and weed, and he coughs the same as my dad, who just smokes weed. That's a problem. And also, if your lungs are reacting to something by insanely hard coughing, that's maybe a sign that you shouldn't be doing something that you're doing. Now, I'm already 5 minutes into this video. 4 minutes, but I guess I should just get started. I started vaping because my parents didn't know what to do, so they got me addicted to vaping. They gave me my own vape, they supplied all the THC, and they were like, just do it whenever you feel bad. I always felt bad, so I just started getting addicted to THC, and eventually, I got tolerant to it, so I was vaping more and more, but I was also functioning, like, I wasn't, like, sitting in bed all the time. From what I remember, yeah, it used to not give me bad side effects. Now, if I'm not doing something, if I'm not, like, active, I feel like my entire body's shutting down. Like, my lungs are shutting down. I feel like my heart is, like, clogged. Like, I think it's probably psychological because I know it's really bad for me. But, it just feels so weird now. And, like, if I try and sit, I just feel like my heart is stopping. Like, it's really weird. I've tried meditating before, and it's just bad for my brain. I was listening to I think it's isochronic tones. It's like music but with a beep 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 in the background, and like, oh my god, I was freaking out. So I have to say mushrooms are better for meditation. I stay away from the vaping. Edibles are kind of the same thing. Well, when I took edibles, it was just fucking crazy. I was like off the walls. Every time I blinked, I thought it was like in another dimension. It was really bad. So anyway, that's not the point of my story. I never did edibles at school because they always fucked me up. Because I always made them wrong. I always put so much weed in them. Don't do that because it's really bad. If you have a bad trip, you are already too fucked. You have to wait. You actually have to sleep it off. There's no way you can get through it like vaping or smoking weed. You have to sleep. And if you wake up the next morning, you might still be high. Because that happened to me with THC-infused mushroom chocolate. It happened to me. There's a lot of THC in that. And I woke up the next morning and I was like, oh my god, what if I'm like this forever? So, don't do edibles at school because you will get fucked. You'll probably get suspended. Someone will know. So don't do it. That being said, when I used to vape at school, I was already addicted. I think I started doing it when I was in school, at least spring break maybe. Yeah, it was spring break because I was in the mental hospital. Spring break, and they told me they found THC in my blood, and they were like, you shouldn't do that. So I was like, I know, I won't do it anymore. I was lying. I just really wanted to get out of mental hospital. I made a video about that, by the way. So I started before then, so it was probably during school. So I don't know how the hell that went down. Oh, you know what? I know what happened. I did not start with vaping at school because it really did mess with my head at first. I was not used to it, and I hated interacting with my family on weed because I just felt like it was really obvious. I couldn't stop laughing, and like when I had to go downstairs and eat. Well, first of all, my brother didn't know, so like all he knew was like, I'm having a great time. I'm laughing at everything, so he would start laughing. Now I think he knows and he doesn't like it, so like he'll laugh with me, but also he's like, you know, done with this already. So I got to a point vaping that I can't believe I'm almost 8 minutes into this video and I haven't even this is what happens. These videos are not scripted. I have my TV behind me, but it's just like YouTube videos that I pause because I'm like, I need to make this video right now. So sorry, that's just the experience of my YouTube channel. I never script anything. I just kind of sit in front of a camera and then I start ranting like I am doing now. So I started vaping at school because you know what? I remember starting because I was just bored. I was like, I should just do it at school. And I was very mentally ill. I don't understand what happened. Because, oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, I was really sad. So I started because I was really sad. By the time I got my medicine, like actual medicine that really helped me, I was already too far gone. I was already addicted. So I stopped vaping. Like, I stopped being addicted to vaping. I still do it once in a while. I think it was September. I think I stopped vaping because I met my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend then, and he had a lung disease, and I was like, this is really fucked for me to be vaping. So he really didn't like it, so I was like, okay, I need to stop vaping. So that helped, and I eventually stopped being addicted to it. It took a while, but I'm not really addicted to it anymore. Usually I can tell when I'm addicted because I can see vapes and I'm like, I should vape. Or I'm just, if it's really bad, I just wake up and I'm like, I should be vaping right now. Usually it's out of habit for me going on my bike, because I'm like, I get really into going on my bike and then I listen to music and I get really into it. My parents don't see anything wrong with it still, even though I tell them vaping is obviously wrong. And also, when kids are addicted, they know that it's really bad. If they're smart, they will stop. But, I think kids probably know that if you start vaping and you're under 21, your brain is like, it's permanently fucked. You have to go through a lot to get it to kind of be fixed, and sometimes if your brain isn't fully developed, like boys, they get just fucked up more, and it's not worth it. That was the thing that I constantly thought about. I was like, I'm probably fucking up my brain forever. And by the time I chose to stop vaping, because I started getting really sad because I kept vaping, and I was like, this is so bad for me. Every time I vaped, I felt guilty. So I was like, okay, it's time for me to stop. And it was like a few weeks after I was still like kind of on and off about the vaping, I felt like I was fucked forever. Like my brain and my lungs had not recovered, so I still felt like really foggy. I felt like I couldn't think. I just felt so bad. And at school, I don't know how I did it. This was sophomore year. I don't think I was vaping freshman year. I quit junior year. So yeah, it was probably sophomore year, because I think I vaped for about a year and a half. That's really bad, by the way. I've only been alive on this earth for 17 years, almost 18. So a year and a half of vaping is like a long time, to be honest. So I remember, and again, because of this time I vaped so much, I can't remember a lot that happened. Now I can remember stuff, but back then, like, during that time, your brain just, the part of you that remembers things, your memory, it just kind of shuts down a little bit. But I do remember, I came to my geometry class almost every day, just stoned out of my mind. And I could still do math, I think. I was just having such a hard time with it, I couldn't get it. I don't think my teacher knew, because he still supported me. He felt really bad because I cried a lot, and I think it was obvious I was really unstable. I think I ran out of the room sometimes, and I remember him patting my hand, and he was like, "You're gonna be fine." And I was like crying at my desk, and he always asked me whenever I was crying, he was like, "Are you okay? Do you need to go to the counselor?" And I'm like, I don't know. So that I remember, and I can't believe I fucking passed that class, because I always fucking came to class high. And people don't understand this. You can be a bad student, but if you're good to people around you, you'll get things in life. And you don't have to be, if you're neutral and you're just a normal kid and you don't make an effort to connect with your teachers, there's less of a chance that they'll give you a pass for things. I think by this time, I'd stopped vaping, but I was still really bad at math. This was this year, and this is probably illegal, but my math teacher passed me on the final exam because I was telling him I'm not going to do good on this exam. This was the day before, and I was like, I can't do it. Like, I know I won't be able to do it. I'm going to try, but I am so bad at math, I just cannot do it. And he said, "You're going to be fine." I don't know if he was saying that just because he thought I could do it, or if he knew that he was going to pass me either way. But I knew when I was taking that test, I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And all the things that I passed in before, all of them were passing. I never failed any, well, I think I failed a few assignments, but I was genuinely good at the subject if I had just learned it and it was fresh. But by the time I took the test and we had gone through everything that we had learned, it just didn't work. But he passed me. He said, he didn't give me a fake score, but he just said exempt. So I was exempt from the exam because I did so fucking bad. But I was a good student, so he did that. So guys, remember that. Remember that, guys. Okay? So, and also I remember being in band. I would vape in band. I remember I'd ask to go to the bathroom and vape. Whenever I went to a band room, I would vape. Didn't help. It did not help with my learning, but it really didn't help with anything. I just felt like I needed to do it, which is definitely a bad thing about being addicted to something. And I remember I had a lot of times where I was with the teacher, like, alone in the room because I had just began playing bass and he needed some one-on-one time with me. I would be high, so I would have trouble figuring out stuff. And as far as I know, we had just begun taking these new classes. It was the beginning of semester 2. So this was the second half of the year. And I think I had started vaping like a little bit after I got around to knowing the teachers, unless I was already just high all the time, because I don't, as far as I know, none of them knew. At least, you know, they never hinted to knowing, because I know, one of my science teachers now, I actually didn't have her that year when I was really addicted. Now, she knows when boys in her class are high, and she says it subtly. She's like, I hope you're, I don't know the word. I hope you're, fully mentally capable of taking this next assignment. And they'll be like, yep. And they come back from the bathroom, and she's like, I know what happened, because you're just completely different now. So, I was never told anything like that. So as far as I know, no one knew, and I was fully functioning, other than people knew that I had mental issues. So, like I said, in band, there was a few times where he was just trying to teach me something, I couldn't get it, and I was like, sir, I can't do any more today. I'm freaking out right now. And I still do this once in a while. I don't completely lie. There was a time where I was over-exaggerating a little bit because I wanted to see Ian. It was the end of the year, so I was like, oh my god, what if I never see him again? So, actually, no. This was, okay, I'm getting off of it on a tangent real quick, but, this was before I knew that he also liked me, so I was like, I need to go down there right now because I know he's down there, and what if I never see him again? And, like, I started getting really upset because I was thinking about that, and I was like, oh my god, boys never liked me, but, like, what if I could go down there and I could, like, figure this out? So, like, I started shaking, and I was freaking out, I was, like, crying, and I told Mr. Flynn, I pulled him to the side. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to dox him right there, but, I pulled him to the side, and I was like, dude, I gotta go, it's too loud in there for me, I forgot my headphones, can you let me go down to the library? And he was like, can you go to, like, a counselor or something? And I was like, I'd really prefer the library right now, so he let me go, and, I think that was the day that Ian came up to me and talked to me. So, thank you, sir, for letting me do that. I was seriously upset, though, like, I was really upset. So I wasn't completely lying, but I was over-exaggerating a little bit. On those lines, I can't even remember my other classes. What were my other classes? Geometry, I had, science. But I don't, other than the fact that I just like science, I don't remember having difficulty in that class. Science, geometry, math, band. History? What did I take for history? You know what? I think... Oh. Okay, I remember. Oh my god, I remember. Okay, so, this was history. American history. We had a project to present, and, my best friend at the time was right next to me, and they always knew when I was high, and I looked at them, and I was like, they were like, I was like, I know it's my turn to present. I looked at them, and they were like, you're gonna be able to do this, keep it together. And I fucking started laughing immediately. I went up there, I was trying to hold it together, I was like, guys, I'm so sorry, please let me collect myself. I got through some of it, but if I made a mistake or if I thought too hard, I'd start laughing. And I was so afraid that they'd realize, but I don't know if anyone did. I'm sure someone was like, something's off, but also, I'm known by a lot of people to just laugh. I just laugh. I'm a laugher, guys. So I've always done that. Literally since kindergarten, I can't control my laughter. So people, maybe they just thought that was normal. Because I know some people knew me in that class. So, that was really embarrassing. I remember that. And I remember recording it too, because I was like, I worked hard on this. And the fucking microphone quality on my phone is so bad. It was right next to me, and it all recorded as static. It was so awful. I couldn't fix it. So I was like, okay. There was multiple times in that class where I remember I just couldn't stop laughing because my best friend was there. It would be different if he was not there, but he was. And, it was just so embarrassing. I feel like I think freshman year. I'm pretty sure freshman year I also started vaping that year. But that wouldn't make any sense. It might. Because I quit junior year. I thought I started sophomore year. I was gonna say I started Homestuck freshman year. And I remember being high reading Homestuck sometimes, so I couldn't remember it all. But also, I finished Homestuck this year, so that could have been a long span of time. I thought I remember being in my old history class and being high. I'm pretty sure I was. And, I was really good at geography. So, like, I actually, it was every time I aced every single one. It's a geography thing. So, it's like, it gives you a continent, and it gives you all the countries, all the states inside of the continent, or all the places, I don't know if they're called states. Every single time, I got hundreds. Every single time, I was so good at it. And, I'm just god at it. I'm so good. So, that was fun. I don't know if I was high during that part. Oh my god, I think I was. Because I remember freshman year when COVID started. I'm pretty sure when we had classes online. Obviously, I didn't want to show up. Oh, wait, no, wait. Now I'm confused. Oh my god. Oh, okay. I forgot we started online classes in 8th grade. Oh my god. So 9th grade, we were still doing online classes. I think. Yeah. Because I remember failing freshman year math. Because, like, I never even paid attention at all. I don't even know if I showed up. So he failed me, which makes sense. I had to go to summer school the next year. Oh my god. I don't really know why I'm sharing this story, because it kind of sounds like it was fine. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal. A lot of kids vape nicotine. And I actually vaped nicotine the first time this year. It was January 29th. I remember because that was the day I broke up with my boyfriend, and that's exactly why I did it. I went to the bathroom, I was crying. It was the last period of the day, and I went to the bathroom, I was crying. A girl I knew walked in, and I don't know what happened. She was asking if someone was there. She was like, "Madeline, are you here?" And I'm like, she was like, "Yeah, I'm here." I opened the door, and I was like, "I'm here too." And I was like all red, and I was crying. She was like, "Oh my god, Sam, what's wrong?" And I was like, "I just made a really hard decision. I just broke up with my boyfriend." And she was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. You can, like, take a hit of my vape if you want." And I'm like, "Oh, I thank you for the offer, man, but I think I'm good." And then, like, it was like 30 seconds had passed, and I'm like, YOLO. You only live once, so I'm gonna do it. And she was like, "Okay." So we went into the big stall, and I didn't know what to do. Like, I knew how to do it, but I didn't understand what was happening because I'm used to, like, getting that feeling of, like, being intoxicated. So I was vaping, and I was like, nothing's happening right now. Until I realized, I was like, oh my god, I don't feel sad about Geo right now. Because, like, this is the first time I vaped nicotine. It was, like, 3-4 puffs already, and I was, like, trying to figure out what was happening. And I was like, oh my god, I don't feel it anymore. So, I think something happened. I think, the friend Madeline left. She was also vaping with us. She left, and then I was like, okay, I think I gotta get back to my class, because I've been here for a while. I went back. I was so happy. I was skipping down the hallways. It was really weird. I went back, and I was like, I'm ready to do my work. And I did it. And I wasn't bothered anymore. And, that was just really weird. And I told my brother on the bus, I was like, I made a bad decision today, but it's okay. And he was like, what did you do? And I said I vaped nicotine for the first time. And he was nervous because, obviously, I have a history of being addicted to stuff by now. So, I was like, don't worry, I won't do it again. It's just a one-time thing. And it was. I never vaped nicotine again. That was January. It's August now, so I'm clean, guys. Also, nicotine's really bad for your brain or something. I don't know. I really only know about THC. Everyone knows nicotine is bad, so, like, why even bother? But I feel like you guys, a lot of the things I got away with because I'm just genuinely a good student. Like, I was always nice to the teachers. I never caused trouble. I was never, well, I just have a really bubbly personality. So coming to class high, it's like kind of, it's not really it's almost like, and people knew I had mental illness. So it's just all those things combined. I guess no one really knew. And like my friend would look into my eyes and he was like, your eyes are really red right now. And I was like, oh my god, really? So I would look and I'd be like, I don't really see it, but yeah. Actually back then I was high all the time, so I never noticed that my eyes were like a little bit red. Now they're white. I got fucking little bit of jaundice under my eyes. I don't know what that's all about. Well, my boyfriend has it too, so maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's normal. So it's a possibility that one of my teachers knew, but I never was told anything about it. I was like, it was just normal, you know? And like a... Hi. What? I'm recording.
Just pretend I'm not here and cut Nelly.
Okay, I don't remember what I was talking about. I mean, I made my spiel already, so I can pretty much just end the video. Well, I don't even know what to do anymore. Bye!